So now we have them split around with Lucas in the chase. And we now have Kamil Haraki in the lead. So now we just wait for the lights to go green once again. And here we go. Kamil Haraki in the lead. Coming around into the first outside zone. Transitioning into outer 2. Lucas doing a good job so far. Transitioning now into outer 3. And coming back around into 4. Lucas right there with him though. As Haraki didn't have the best chase, but looking very strong in the lead so far. As we come around into outside zone 5 and across the line. Apologies to anyone who So here we go. We have them back at the start line, ready to go. So Victor Anderson in the chase, and we've got Samuel in the lead. Our start line marshal gets them ready to send them off, and here we go. Samuel going sideways out of the chicane from the start. Nice big initiation in that E92, just dropping the tyre through out of 2. Kind of seems to be struggling with grip now as they come around into out 4. The weather is changing, the temperatures are constantly changing, so it is definitely going to be an interesting one. But Victor Anderson doing exactly what he needs to do in the chase as they come around to outside zone 5. Lovely work there between the two of them. So looking back, you can see Samuel's just really struggling with getting the car where it needs to be, in a sense of just having the grip, from what it seems, as the car looks very loose at the moment, dropping tires both on out clip 2 and 3. Unless it is just the case he just knows he has to go hard. But a very good attempt regardless, and you never know, it could go either way. You'd never know. I mean, Victor Anderson is doing very well in that chase, so it is going to be pretty hard for Victor Anderson to have a disadvantage in any of this. But we'll have to see. So there they are, Victor Anderson and Samuel. Just having a little chill. Having a chat. The grandstands are looking good again. Full of spectators having fun. Moving on into the top 8. Victor Anderson moving on forward into the top 8. Oh, don't fall down, Victor. Once again, a very happy man. I think that was the little look of, sorry to rub that in your face, mate. He's a very happy man. He has enjoyed himself a lot. And he's just going to have a little drive off like that. He's having a great time. Unfortunate for Sam, but he did a very good fight. But now we have Bartosz Stalarski at the line. The question is, who's he going to be chasing? Gorgeous S15. And it is going to be Jakub Puszonski in the lead. 900 horsepower GR86. So see what Mr. Jakub Puszonski has in the bag for this run. Two very talented drivers, two very experienced drivers as well. So it's two big titans in DMP clashing head to head. The S15 does have 50 more horsepower, so he's got a little bit more power to kind of utilize. But then again, Jakub Puszonski is the king of setup. So we'll have to see what they can get out of this. As the lights go green now, we send him down the straight. Jakub Puszonski, nice big initiation there with Bartosz Stalarski in the chase. Oh, just getting a bit caught up in the chase so far, going into 2, but lovely through 3. Coming now into out zone 4. Nice little decel there from Jakub Puszonski. Stalarski kind of struggling to get the car where it needs to be, kind of in the shallow line. And it's just trying to get in and out, trying to find the pocket, but they come across the line. So looking at this, Jakub Puszonski's lead, just absolutely textbook. As you can see there, the car is just dialed in on that perfect wide outside line. As it comes around, maybe could have been a bit deeper into out of zone 3. That seems to be one of the only places I'm seeing where really improvement is needed for Jakub Puszonski's lead. As you can see there, going through out of 4, just a little bit of dab of a left foot brake just to settle the car in. Just to keep it on that wide line, and then Bartosz Stalarski just trying to find the pocket as they went through out of 5, just bang on. But like I was saying earlier, the show's not over until you're finished. So nothing is decided yet. Still got Bartosz Stalarski to lead in Jakub Puszonski. If you're looking for Polish commentary, by the way, we do have another stream on the YouTube channel, particularly for Polish commentary. But now we've got Jakub Puszonski in the chase with Bartosz Stalarski in the lead. Two Polish drivers going absolutely ham. Look at this from Jakub Puszonski. But oh my word, Bartosz Stalarski almost creating a big incident there and snapping the car around. A good save between the two of those drivers. Jakub Puszonski definitely clenching a bit there, I'd say. That would have been terrifying. Safe. Very, very close to contact there. So looking back, lovely initiation there from Bartosz Stalarski, and he has a beautiful line coming around into 2, just filling it out almost as perfect as Jakub did. But as he comes around, you can see the car just whips around, and good reaction between the two of them. As you can see, Bartos slaps it into the reverse to get it away, and a very good reaction between the two of them. So amazing work there from Bartos Talassi to save both of the cars. And who will be moving on into the top 8? It will be Jakub Brzonski moving on into the next part of the competition. So what I'm seeing in the comments is a okie dokie, sweet. Drift chat helping me out there. But look at that, Jakub Brzonski in that Red Bull GR86, Bartosz Stalasky in that FMIAC EU S15. Two really nice cars, textbook competition cars, if I do say so myself. But as you can see, they're pulling up to the line. This is going to be a battle to watch. So make sure, if you're at the event, you get your cameras out. And if not, start screen recording. As we have Nasser Alabali in the chase with Kevin Rubble in the lead. Two insane drivers. And I know Kevin Rubble has got a massive power disadvantage, but he's not a slow driver in any respect. So he is definitely one to watch. And Nasser obviously being a very gripped up and fast car in that Bosket S13. Coming off the line now. Here we go. Kevin Rubble leading in that S13. That is from... It's just on rails, but just dropping a wheel there going into outer 2. But look at Nasser Alabali just not letting go, glued to the side of that car as he comes around. Look at the speed he's got. How nimble that car is insane. Definitely a bit scrappy in the chase, but obviously the lead is also a little bit scrappy itself. But good work between the two of them. So going from the initiation, really, really nice initiation from Kevin. As he transitions, he washes a little bit too wide and ends up having to angle a bit up as he comes around into the transition. And Nasser does slightly drop there in the chase, so it is a bit scrappy between the two of them. So we'll have to see what happens in the next part. And obviously Nasser trying to get a proximity, but sacrifices a lot of line and a lot of angle, and almost puts himself in a predicament he couldn't have got out of. So I think it was a very high risk for high reward situation, and I don't think it was quite there. So I'd definitely say these two need to clean up in this run. But we'll have to see who does the better lead and who does the better chase. Now Kevin Rubble in the chase, Nasser Alabali in the lead. Here we go, that V8 just screaming in that S13 as they initiate now into out zone 1. Lovely stuff between the two of them so far, but look at this. Lovely through out 2. Kevin Rubble right there with Nasser as they come around into out 4. But look at this from Kevin Rubble on the door of Nasser Alabali as they come around the exit of out zone 4. Can he get the transition down? Yes, he can. He's right there with Nasser Alabali. Amazing driving there from Kevin Rubble, putting on a masterclass of a chase. As you can see here, lovely stuff, giving Nasser the room so he can get the transition down, and this is where he starts to slowly reel Nasser in. As you can see, that is the section you want to be the most careful in, as when you start coming through to this section, this is where he really starts to shine. In the chase, you can see just door to door. Just look at the proximity from Kevin Rubble there. Absolutely perfection as they come around. their form, but Peter just putting on a class of a chase, and Mads Andersen putting on probably the best lead he's done in the entire weekend. So now we've got Mads Andersen in the chase with now Peter in the lead. Let's see what he can do with this. Here we go, the Alfa Romeo leading in that E92 Eurofire. Very snappy, very shallow though, onto out 2 and 1. A little bit better into 3 as they come around into outside zone 4 now. Doing a good job, very nice there in the lead of 3 out of 4. But Mads Andersen trying his hardest to keep up, but not the best line there from Peter going towards the end. Looking into this, you can see Peter does pull out of outside zone 1 pretty quickly. Does the same with 2 as well, quite shallow into that zone. And tries to push it into 3, which is a little bit better, but still not the best that he could have been doing. As he comes around into 4, does a good job on the entry into 4, which is really, really good. Mads Andersen right there on the door where he needs to be, and look at this from Peter, lovely through there, but as he comes around and he just transitions a little bit too shallow and ends up missing out clip 5, but Mads Andersen does a good job at reacting to that. So who will be moving on, we will have to see as we just wait our judges' decision. As we give a little wave to the crowd, having a good time. So who's moving on into the top 8? Mads Andersen moving on into the top 8, having a great time. We love to see it. Unfortunately there for Peter, just not having his best day. And he's a happy man. He's a very, very happy man. Let's see in the chat, who are you supporting? Once again, he's given us the little heart. Who do you think is going to be the top 3 drivers? Let's put it in the chat. Let's get some predictions going. Also, where are you from? Let's see. Let's get some conversations going on in the chat on the YouTube. But now we have Victor Vermark in the chase in that S14-9, following in Lucas Sarada from the Czech Republic, and there's a lot of Czech flags currently being put into the chat, so this is going to be a good one. So Lucas Sarada leading in the Swedish man, Victor Vermark. That is a very fast S14-9, so we're going to have to see what he can do as he now goes into that initiation. Nice big initiation there between the 2 of them as they transition now into out 2. Victor could be closer though as they come around now into 4. This is looking very good from Sarada, but manages to pull out of that 4 and had to pick up, which causes contact between the 2 of them as they come around onto 5. So this is definitely an interesting one for the judges. Victor Vermark kind of nowhere to be seen on the initiation. Tries to get the dive going into outer 2, but struggles to get there. Sarada doing a really good job though in the lead. Gets a lot of angle there. Almost has to do a big correction to get it to where it needs to be. And it's here where the contact happens. Obviously he comes in shallow, and as he's coming around, starts to over angle once again and has to correct, and that causes a slowdown which possibly could have caused Victor Vermark to make contact there. So we'll have to see how the judges view that and see who's deemed at fault. So we have them switched back around now. Sarada is now in the chase with Victor Vermark in the lead. So here we go. As we wait for the lights to go green, that S49 will be leading out that E92. Here we go. Big initiation there from Victor Vermark as they come around into outside zone 2. Lovely stuff so far. Lots of speed, lots of commitment between the 2. Now coming around into outside zone 4. Lovely stuff from Victor, but Sarada's kind of struggling to keep up with the pace as that S14-9 absolutely shreds through the course. Coming now into the last outside zone across the line. a bit too hungry, and that does cause him to make a mistake. But what a battle that was. Merilou's lead was just absolutely insane. But as you can see, just having a good chat about talking about how much angle Shevlov's probably out talking to Merilou about, bro, how have you getting this much angle? And I'm still baffled by how he's done it himself. That car is monstrous. Really good conversation happening here, though. It's good to see that our drivers still in really high spirits, even in competition. It can be quite a nerve-wracking experience sometimes. But they are really, really enjoying it. As we just wait for a judge's decision. As they'll probably be looking at the contact that was made. Who is going on to the top 8 is Valery Shevelov. Moving on into the top 8, and he is a very happy man. Ray Merilou's just making a big mistake going into his chase. So I just got he is a very, very happy man. Shevelov loving life to the max right now. But now we have Tobias in the chase. In that, oh, look at that livery. There's so much detail. And we have Orest in the lead. 2 very cool liveried cars. Just got a confirmation from one of our judges that Greg's did drop 3 wheels off and zeroed between outer zone 4 and 5. Hence, Shevelov's moving on into the top 8. But now we have Tobias in the lead, in the chase with Orest in the lead. Look at this between the 2 of these, going absolutely rapid into there. Not the fastest entry though, but it looks a lot quicker on here than what it is actually. As we come through to outer zone 4, ooh, in a bit of angle there. As we come around into outside zone 5. Doing a good job between the 2 of them. A little bit scrappy in some way, but they do a good job of finishing the run nice and tidy. So nice initiation between the 2 of them. Tobias could have been a bit closer, but Orest doing a lovely lead so far. As you can see, filling out 2 and 3, very nice. As he comes into 4, does start to drop away, but manages to pull it back in. And look at the angle he pulls on there. Has to do a little correction and bobble, and does pull back out of outside zone 4, but manages to make it work as they come around into 5, fulfilling that quite nicely. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. So now we have Tobias in the lead and Orest in the chase. So here we go. We're going to send them back out once again to get a deciding fact, just get a winner for this battle. As the lights go green, here we go. Orest chasing in that E92 with Tobias at the wheel. Nice transition there, going into 2, maybe a bit shallower than he could have been. Could have been deeper going into 2 and 3, but manages to make it work. Orest right there on the door with Tobias, almost pushing him around the exit of out of 4 as he come around 2 out of 5 now, doing a good job. Very, very nice work there from both of these drivers. So Orest coming in the chase, hanging back a bit. So now we just wait for the result as they struggle to get out of their cars. And I do believe this is possibly our last battle of the top 16 as well, as we just wait for the results. Amazing driving from both of these drivers, and every driver of the weekend, in fact. Everyone's been pushing it to the limit. And why not do it you can't do it at a better place. Katowice at this iconic airstrip that we've done in previous seasons. Really, really unique track to run. And moving on into the top 8, it will be neither of them, as it is going to be a one more time. The judges couldn't decide who did anything worse or better, so they've got to go back, change some tyres, and get ready for an OMT. Two really cool liveried cars. I can't lie, very, very beautiful cars. Just gonna hear those sequential straight cut gearboxes just whining.
Iwak z nami. Cześć Maciek.
Cześć, witam serdecznie.
Słuchaj, no dobra, opowiadaj o tym samochodzie, bo tu legendy już na czacie krążą. Czy to samo auto, od kogo, skąd wyjechało i czemu tak dużo się w nim zmieniło?
Znaczy jest to całkowicie nowe, zbudowane drugie auto. Poprzedniego Nissana S14A nadal posiadam, natomiast jest to nowy wóz zbudowany przez Marka Wartałowicza w Max Racing, setup w 100% zawodniczy. Mamy Weissfaba z przodu i z tyłu, mamy dyferencjał Wintersa, mamy 2JZ, 800 koni, 900 N. No taka, myślę, dość przyjemna maszyna.
Gdybyś mógł i nie siedział na komentatorce, to w której klasie byś nim jeździł?
Wiesz co, no myślę, że na początku chyba bym zaczął od semi-pro, natomiast jest plan na montaż sekwencyjnej skrzyni biegów, więc docelowo pewnie klasa pro. No i nie ukrywam, mam takie marzenie, żeby nieco profesję zmienić i pozwolić innym wykazać się, jeśli chodzi o komentowanie. Zajmuję się 15 lat branżą eventową, driftem zajmuję się lat 10. Fajnie byłoby coś samemu pojechać, natomiast na szczęście mam teraz wóz, który to będzie umożliwiał, bo moim też takim celem było złożenie samochodu, który od razu będzie samochodem zawodniczym, pozwalającym rywalizować o najwyższe cele. Na szczęście taki wóz udało się zbudować, to marzenie jest spełnione, więc trzeba iść dalej.
No właśnie, bo jak się ma taką furę, no to już chyba nie tylko po to, żeby jeździć na pokazach, ale też po to, żeby w końcu o jakiś podjazd próbować zawalczyć.
No taką mam nadzieję, taki był cel, taki był plan. Jestem już po takich gruntownych testach tej fury. Miałem okazję pojeździć tutaj w Katowicach na trasie Lotniska Muchowiec w środę. Czwartym biegiem, tak dość szybko, mocno, intensywnie jeździłem też w strefie drift taxi. Natomiast tak jak mówisz, no tutaj celem jest na pewno rywalizacja, dlatego będę dążył i mam nadzieję, że wy będziecie trzymali za to kciuki.
No będziemy trzymali kciuki na pewno. Opowiedz też trochę o strefie drift taxi, bo to drugi rok z rzędu, kiedy podczas tej rundy w Katowicach można na coś takiego się tutaj zapisać.
Tak, jak najbardziej. Mamy też w tym roku w Katowicach po raz pierwszy w tym sezonie na Driftingowych Mistrzostwach Polski strefę drift taxi. Jest 10 kierowców ze świetnymi samochodami. Najmocniejsze auto to jest 600 koni mechanicznych. To są auta wyposażone w klatki bezpieczeństwa bądź w rollbary. Robimy to na maksa bezpiecznie, ale jednocześnie chcąc pokazać ludziom, czym są te emocje, które są w driftingu, czym jest ta adrenalina. I tutaj w Katowicach właśnie macie taką możliwość, żeby usiąść na fotelu pasażera któregoś, wiesz, z tych kilkuset konnych profesjonalnych driftkarów, no i po prostu właśnie w ramach tej strefy drift taxi doświadczyć tych emocji, doświadczyć tej adrenaliny. Mam też taką ciekawostkę, mamy tutaj byłe auto, którym kiedyś startował Krzysztof Jóźwiak, czyli Siwy, jego E30, którą jeździ mój przyjaciel Patryk Powązka, także można nawet się przejechać autem z Driftingowych Mistrzostw Polski.
No dobrze, słuchajcie, ja też będę zachęcał, bo co innego to zobaczyć, a zupełnie czym innym jest to poczuć, szczególnie pierwszy raz. Mam wrażenie, że w ogóle takiego chyba pierwszego razu nawet na fotelu pasażera to się chyba nie zapomina. Ja pamiętam bardzo dobrze, a było to parę lat temu.
No ja myślę, że tego się nie zapomina, to naprawdę są przeżycia, które zostają z nami na długo. My staramy się zrobić to możliwie jak najlepiej, zatem serdecznie zachęcamy i zapraszamy, a Ciebie w sumie zapraszam na lewy fotel tego Nissana dzisiaj po godzinie 18. Sprawdzimy, co ta maszyna potrafi, także zapraszam.
Dobrze, to ja podejmuję rękawice i zasiądę. Was też zachęcamy do tego, że gdybyście chcieli, to strefa Drift Taxi podczas drugiej rundy Driftingowych Mistrzostw Polski tutaj w Katowicach na lotnisku Muchowiec jest do Waszej
Będzie.
dyspozycji i będzie,
Jest
dokładnie.
i będzie. I do zobaczenia.
Maciej Kiwak, wielkie dzięki.
Do usłyszenia, dzięki.
So a lovely little talk about the drift taxis that we've got over at the Speed Games Arena. And as you can see that we've got our car show driver. But we'll see what happens with Orest in the lead. Or should I say in the chase. He was literally just in the lead, but now we have Tobias in the lead, Orest in the chase. So we're just getting them ready. So our Sala Marshal is just having a chat with them. I'm not too sure what is happening here. So I've just got a message from one of our judges. There is an oil leak on one of the cars, and it does look like Tobias will be getting the win, as Orest seems to be having... Yep, so Orest having a oil leak, potentially an engine problem, but they do not want to risk the surface of the track, which means Tobias will be moving into the top 8. Definitely not the way that Tobias would have wanted to win. But unfortunately, these things do happen. So that is confirmed. Moving into the top 8 is Tobias, which does mean that fills out our top 8 bracket.
Tobiasz puścił z nami. Słuchaj, no w tym pierwszym przejeździe na żyletki, no domyślam się, że nie tak chciałeś to rozwiązać.
Znaczy nie spodziewałem się, że taki będzie finał i wygrana w taki sposób, bo Orest miał jakąś awarię układu chłodniczego, aż mam całe auto zażygane w cudzysłowiu, także no nie fajnie się tak wygrywa.
No ale widać było też w tych twoich przejazdach, że tutaj na tych Katowicach chyba całkiem dobrze się czujesz, co?
Zmotywowany jestem, aczkolwiek ta trasa kompletnie mi nie siedzi. Te odcinki między zonami są strasznie w małej odległości. Przez to jest problem, żeby tą trasę fajnie, czysto przejechać, no ale nie poddajemy się, motywacja jest wielka.
No to też dopiero drugi sezon, kiedy ta trasa gości tutaj w Driftingowych Mistrzostwach Polski, więc można powiedzieć, że wszyscy się jej uczą dopiero, nie?
No zgadza się, trasa jest taka sama dla wszystkich, także no trzeba jechać to, co trzeba.
No dobrze, życzymy powodzenia w takim razie dalej, że to coś będzie w aucie opryskiwane w takim razie.
No musimy zmyć Oresta płyn z auta, wymienić gumy i jedziemy dalej.
Dobra, trzymamy kciuki, dzięki wielkie.
Na razie, dzięki.
So there you have it, Tobias. Just having a quick chat with our interviewer, Kamil. Definitely not the happiest way to win a battle, like I was saying, but so here we go. We are here at the top 8 of round 2 of DMP 2025 at Katowice. So we're going to have Lukas Stasimski versus Victor Anderson, Jakub Pszczonski versus Kevin Robel, Mads Anderson versus Victor Vedemark, Valery Chevrolet versus Tobias. What a top 8. This is going to get crazy. And the battles only get bigger and bigger from here. I mean, every battle's been pretty crazy so far this weekend. So all the way from semi-pro top 16 all the way up to now, it's been absolutely mental. But we have 2 crazy drivers now with Victor Anderson in that GT86, looking very focused and locked in with the Swedish flag on the back. Obviously running 650 horsepower with those Stroms DSO5s. And then you have Lucas Tazimski in that S14 with 750 horsepower. So there is a decent horsepower difference here between the two of them. And Lucas Tazimski has been on form all weekend so far. So we just got to see what he can do with this. So here we go. They click their gearboxes into gear. Victor getting a little bit of a run up so he can get on the door of Lucas Tazimski from the start. Big flick initiation there from Lucas Tazimski. Victor Anderson is falling a bit behind though, but look at this lead from Lucas Tazimski so far. Filling out 2 and 3 perfectly. Coming around into 4. Absolutely perfect. Lots of pace, lots of speed. Almost leaving Victor Anderson behind. As comes around into out 5. Perfect across 5. What a lead. And Victor Anderson's just nowhere to be seen. Says, look back at this. I mean, even from the start, he's just absolutely gone. Lucas Tazimski, very, very fast driver and not one to be messed around with. He is here and he means business, but Victor Anderson also is here to do the same. But as you can see, he's just struggling to match the pace of Lucas as he comes around into outer zone 4. A little bit of left foot brake just to get the car to settle onto the outside line, but Lucas doing a really good job. And just leaving that GT86 out in the dust, or should I say the smoke at this point, as he comes across the line a lot further before Victor Anderson does. So now we have them switched around, getting ready for the second half of the battle. So Lucas Tazimski in the chase, Victor Anderson in the lead. Lots of pops and bangs as they leave the line. Here we go, nice initiation there into outer 1. Lucas Tazimski keeping it nice and close to Victor Anderson. Big transition going into 3 as they come around now into outer zone 4. Look at this from Lucas Tazimski, right on the door of Victor Anderson around outside zone 4, pushing him around. Look at this, a masterclass of a chase. Oh my word, Lucas Tazimski, hats off to you. Take a bow. What a chase. these two there has been. So there they are, Jakub Szonski on the right, Kevin Rebel on the left, who will be moving on into the top 4. And here's Jakub Szonski getting the win. Kevin Rebel having an amazing drive this weekend, doing a great number of battles. He's going to be happy with that one. But Jakub Szonski in an interview quick time. Let's see what he has to say.
Kuba, no obserwując swoje przejazdy tutaj w Katowicach, wszystko po profesorsku, jak do tej pory, wręcz no, można powiedzieć, że każdy przejazd od linijki.
Mówi, że to tak spokojnie, w środku naprawdę jest potężna adrenalina, teraz mi się ręce trzęsą. To była bardzo mocna para, wiedziałem, że Kevin będzie jechał bardzo dobrze. Też to jest zawodnik, który w zeszłym roku no, pojawił się na scenie driftingu, jedzie super, więc wielkie brawa. Potężne emocje, bardzo tutaj się wszystkim oddają, a trasa jest, wydaje mi się, bardzo fajna, więc cieszę się, że tutaj w Katowicach możemy się ścigać.
No i co, ci młodzi też już trochę czuć ten oddech młodości na plecach chyba powoli, co?
Oczywiście o to chodzi. No, Kevin Wróbel tutaj pokazał pełną klasę i pełną walkę. Naprawdę było bardzo na żyletki z tego, co ja odczuwałem w środku, więc wiedziałem, że musimy pojechać wszystko jak najszybszym samochodem i być jak najbliżej.
Słuchaj, po 2 latach wracasz do Driftingowych Mistrzostw Polski. No nie mogę Cię nie zapytać, jak się jeździ w porównaniu z tą serią, w której ostatnio najwięcej czasu spędziłeś. No chyba tutaj ta stawka 50 ponad zawodników chyba robi się już no bardzo mocno, co?
No jest na pewno bardzo ciasno, tak jak to top 32, tutaj nie można odpuścić, wszystko musi się udać, też przez to pojawiają się błędy zawodników, bo jest po prostu musimy jechać naprawdę no, na żyletki, tak jak tutaj trafić w te wszystkie, można powiedzieć, zony, po tej linii jechać tym tylnym kołem, naprawdę przy tej prędkości, jaką jedziemy, jest naprawdę ciężko i przez to też pojawiają się błędy, ale też, nie wiem, mamy chyba 12 narodowości, więc to też pokazuje poziom, że do Polski na drift chcą przyjechać inni zawodnicy i to jest też fajne, bo mamy wyższy poziom, większe emocje.
Patrząc na Twoje przejazdy, nie wiem, o jakich błędach mówisz, ale no, nie liczymy na to, że je zobaczymy. Powodzenia dalej, Kuba. Dzięki.
Dziękuję bardzo. Dzięki.
There you have it. Jakub Szonski moving on into the top 4. Kevin Rebel having an amazing drive all weekend. With that GI86 doing absolute... Oh! So this is an interesting predicament. As to what is going on here, I'm not too sure. But Victor Vedemark's engine bay is open, and it does seem like there could be an issue. Not too sure. Oh, looks like our start line marshal's trying to point it out. Oh no, there is a leak. And it looks like it could be coming from either the oil cooler or the intercooler. Something is leaking though from one of the cooling systems. And I do believe I think that might be the oil cooler that is leaking. And it's now a question of, will our start line marshals deem the car safe enough to continue? This is definitely an interesting one as they're inspecting the issue. The last thing you want is to send a car out. As you can see, so it is sending oil up into the bonnet. So it is expelling liquid. The crankhouse ventilation, from what I'm hearing in the chat. So they're going to just ask Victor to have a quick look. As he has a quick look at what's going on. as they're just now checking oil levels. It is now a question of, is it safe to run? Definitely an interesting situation unfolding here, and I do hope that it works in favor of Victor, as now they are checking for any fluid leaks underneath the car. Do apologize for the delay, but of course the main thing is that we want to make sure that these cars are safe to go onto track with. We do not want to injure our drivers. We do not want to have any issues with injuries with staff, marshals, anything like that. And we also don't want to have unnecessary damage to cars, as it is an expensive thing to replace. So we have to check these things thoroughly. So 2 minutes from the burnout box. So he was already at the line when they started to notice the smoke pouring, coming out of the bonnet. So they wanted to inspect the vehicle, but it does look like Victor Venemark is going to be able to run as he gets ready to go. Just waiting to make sure that everything's fine. So yeah, Victor Venemark is going to be able to run. Or is he? Let's just have a look at what's going on here. So I think they're going to... So they're just going to be asked to reheat their tyres. So Victor Venemark is going to be able to continue and have a chance to get into the podium, which is what we love to see. But of course, we do have to take precautions to make sure that the drivers, the cars, and the track is all safe. And look at that, the camera angles here showing off the burnout box. Really, really cool camera angle. And a gorgeous S14-9, if I do say so myself. So now we have Mads Andersen in the lead, with Victor Venemark in the chase. So now we're just going to get them back on the line. And our line marshal is just going to make sure we get the thumbs up to make sure that we're ready. And here we go, Mads Andersen in that E92 in the lead. Victor getting a little bit of a run up, ready to get into the chase. But here we go, nice initiation there from Mads Andersen. Victor Venemark decently close though in the chase as they come around to outside turn 3, transitioning now into 4. Victor Venemark definitely struggling to match the pace as they come around in towards 5. They're doing a good job of keeping that with Mads Andersen. So moving on into the top 8. Valery Shelvalov going into the top 4. Don't know why I said top 8. Love to see them embrace each other and enjoy the sport. And we're going to have a quick interview.
Valery Shelvalov with us. Amazing drive this week on the Katowice track.
It's a very interesting championship for me and very interesting layouts, very strong drivers. I don't know, I'm very happy to be on top 4.
Have you ever seen the track something like this, the road like this?
No, but I had preparation with my spotter, and we used another layout in another initiation to right side. But I know from sim drifting this layout. That's all.
Okay, yeah, the last year the road was on the opposite side, but right now you got quite the same lane for everybody, but I have a feeling that you're feeling good here.
But first day it was for me very hard. I don't know why it's it's awful. First day, second day much better, but I don't like it. I didn't like it, and this evening it's pretty nice. Some mistakes, but I'm okay.
So good luck in top 4. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
A my zapraszamy w takim razie na top 4.
Here we go. This is where it gets crazy, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. We are in the pro class, and we are now in the top 4. And this is where it gets insane. We have Lukas Tazimski versus Jakub Pajonsky in the first battle. As you can see, they're gridded up and lined up at the line, ready to go. And then we have Mads Andresen versus Valery Shelvalov to finish things off. And who is going to be going into the final? We're about to find out. Two massive drivers here who have both been on insane form. Lukas Tazimski proving he can just absolutely throw down. And obviously we got Jakub Pajonsky just being Jakub Pajonsky. So will there be Jakub Pajonsky going into the battle for third, or will he go into the final? That is the question in that GR86. Amazing car, and I do love that helmet. It kind of reminds me of Master Chief from Halo. Don't know why. But he's just chilling. He's ready to go. He's focused. And now he will be chasing in Lukas Tazimski in that S14. He's like, yeah, it's a fight now. Let's go. It's good to see that he's having he's having so much fun. So then, here we go. We're about to kick off our one of the last battles of the evening. Our first top 4 battle, should I say. As the lights go green, Lukas Tazimski in the lead, Jakub Pajonsky in the chase as they now flick it into outside zone 1. Lovely initiation between the two. Big flick into out zone 2. But look at Jakub Pajonsky right there on the door of Lukas Tazimski as he comes around into out zone 4. But look at this from Lukas Tazimski. Perfect into 4. So much pace, so much commitment. But Jakub Pajonsky is not letting him go. He is right there, and they come across the line. So let's have a look at what just happened. Lukas Tazimski really consistent on that initiation. Does a big snappy transition going into out zone 2, filling that out perfectly. This is such a consistent line driver, and it is so impressive how consistent he is. But look at Kuba Pajonsky right there, right behind him. Does have to shallow out a bit just to get up onto the door. But look at Lukas Tazimski almost rubbing the wall as he comes around that out zone 4. And then Jakub Pajonsky gets a nice early transition to get up onto the door across outside zone 5. Textbook chasing, textbook lead. So now we have him back at the start line, ready to go as our start line marshal once again sends them off. This is a battle for going into the final. Lucas Zimski now chasing in Jakub Brzonski in the lead. Big initiation there between the two. Look at this from Lucas Zimski though, right on the door. Jakub Brzonski as he comes around to outzone 3. Now transitioning into 4. Right the side of Jakub Brzonski is Lucas Zimski. Side by side, wheel to wheel, as he does lose a bit of proximity there in the chase. Wow. I'm going to lose my voice very soon, I think. Look at this from Lucas Zasimski. Jakub Brzonski once again doing a nice initiation, but look at this transition right there, bumper to bumper. And he's just right on the side of Jakub Brzonski as he comes around and gets a nice dive into 3 and then coming into 4, bumper to bumper once again, almost touching him as he comes in, and he's just right there and finds all of the grip to push up onto his door. This is textbook chasing right here, but then there's the one mistake he made. Coming through into this section does lose quite a bit of ground, whereas Jakub Brzonski did have a much better chase in that section, but it all depends on lead to lead, chase to chase, and this is not going to be an easy one for the judges to decide. What a battle. Two titanic drivers going absolutely crazy. Jakub Brzonski just going as crazy as he can, as well as Lucas. What a battle that is. And this is only the top 4. This isn't even in the final. But then this is to go into the final. This is a big, big decision. As you can see, it looks like we are going into the judges' replay. So we are in the judges' replay now. And it looks like they potentially might have made their mind up. Going into the final is nobody. It's a one more time. What a battle that was. And I am very happy that I get to see these two guys go again as the crowd absolutely cheers.
I need to say that till last meters of the second run, we had the decision, but the decision was overrun by the last corner of the second run, where there was big mistake from Tasiemski. Because if we look on overall lead and overall chase, Tasiemski was slightly better in his lead. He was a little bit more precise, a little bit deeper in the zones. When he was chasing, he had like bigger angle. He was a little slightly more aggressive, but then the big mistake in the last corner of his chase put it into the one more time.
There you go. Thank you very much, David Klaus, our head judge, making he just enters into that and grabs and grips. It shouldn't be doable, but it's happening. Amazing driving from Lukas Tasimski. Obviously going against one of the greatest to ever come out of Poland, Jakub Brzezinski. There's no introduction needed for that man. As they are here now at the results area. Two amazing drivers, not making it easy for the judges. But look at that. Standing ovation for the two Polish drivers from the grandstand. This is what we like to see. Are you not entertained? Who is going to be joining into the final? Lukas Tasimski going into the final. Meeting Matt Andrewson and Jakub Brzezinski will be going into the battle for third, but Lukas Tasimski getting emotional. This is a massive deal to this man. Obviously, last season he was one of our Polish commentators. So to come into this season and beat Jakub Brzezinski for the battle into the final, that is a big deal, as we have Kamil there ready to have an interview with this amazing driver.
So if we look on this battle, we were really a lot considering that we would have another one more time. However, there were enough small mistakes to make the call. And if we will look on both runs, in Lukas' run, he was just not deep in our zone 3. Otherwise, the lead was almost perfect. If we look on Kuba's lead, he was also not deep in our zone 3. But he was also not deep in our zone 5, and he put it wheel off just before our zone 4. So here Lukas got advantage, even though Lukas' chase was not that close, not that aggressive, but throughout the lead he was able to get his win.
And there you go, that is why Lukas is moving into the final. And Jakub Brzezinski will be going into the battle for third. And I do believe we might have an interview there with Lukas, as Kamil is sat down there with him, ready to have a chat.
No teoretycznie może być kilku profesorów, ale tutaj akurat może być tylko jeden i mam wrażenie, że ten tytuł na tym torze należy się tobie, bo te przejazdy, które tutaj pokazujesz, no to jest majstersztyk.
Katowice, zróbcie jakiś hałas! Bardzo wszystkim dziękuję za doping, za tak liczne przybycie i za to, że dostałem Kubę Przygońskiego nie raz, a 2 razy. Bo to, co uciecze, co się nie odwlecze, to, co było w Słomczynie przez półoś, jestem mega szczęśliwy, ponieważ chciałem odpuścić teraz ten bieg, ponieważ kończy mi się skrzynia biegów i chciałem ją jeszcze zatrzymać na kolejne rundy, ale team mnie wykopał tak naprawdę i cieszę się, że podjęliśmy taką decyzję. Także zaraz podejmiemy decyzję, czy jedziemy w finał, czy nie, ale bardzo wam wszystkim dziękuję za doping, bo jesteście naprawdę niesamowici!
That is a very happy Lukas Tasimski right there. Very emotional. That brings a lot of warmth to my heart. And this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we do what we do. And we are so happy to be bringing you all of the action, all the highs and the lows. And this is definitely one of the best highs we've seen all season so far. So now he'll be getting prepped to go to the final. But first we got the battle for third. Look at that. All of the barriers just lined with spectators. As Lukas heads back down towards the pit. And there we have it. So our battle for third is going to be Valery Shevelov versus Jakub Brzezinski and Mads Andrewsen versus Lukas Jasinski. What a weekend it has been. As you can see there, team members of Lukas Jasinski and supporters in the pits. This is a big moment for Lukas Jasinski, and he rightfully deserves every single bit of it. So now we're just prepping for the battle for third as we get the crowd all hyped up. And we hope you have all enjoyed the event so far, but we're not done yet. We still got 2 battles left. This is where it all gets crazy. So now we'll be moving into the playoff, which is our battle for third, to crown our first podium place driver. So as you can see there, Lukas Jasinski's pit area, everyone hugging him, giving him the love. And I do believe there could be a mechanical issue with the car. Potentially a gearbox issue. But hopefully we can get that sorted in time for the final. But now we have Shevelov in the burnout box. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Hopefully he's all right. He's opening his doors, so Jakub Brzezinski has made it to line. He does have 2 minutes. There he is. So Shevelov just having a moment there to prepare. So here we go. The battle for third begins in a second with Valery Shevelov at the start line. Obviously, just giving him a little blow down, just to cool him down. It gets ridiculously hot in those cars. And are we going to see the aggressive Shevelov that we all know and love? With the cool, calm and collected Jakub Brzezinski in the lead. So here we go. Just waiting for our start line marshal to make sure they're ready to go. Thumbs up to the left. Just waiting on that. So yep, here we go. Thumbs up to left, thumbs up to the right. Lights go red. Go on, let's go green. Let's get me in. Let's send it for the first battle of the final 2 battles. The battle for third, the playoff between Jakub Brzezinski and Valery Shevelov. But look at this for Valery Shevelov coming into the chase with a lot of aggression, almost getting caught up there in the chase as the fall behind. But Jakub Brzezinski putting on a textbook lead so far as they come around outside zone 4. Transitioning now into out 5, but Shevelov getting a bit caught up in the chase there as they come across the line. So looking back at this battle, lovely initiation between the 2 of these drivers, but as they come around into 2, Shevelov getting very aggressive, and coming into 3, look at the dive there. Does fall a bit behind there and has to readjust. Manages to make it work, and at this point, it's mistakes like this can cost you the battle, as we have seen multiple times from the top 8 onwards. So Shevelov's got a lot of work to do here as Jakub Brzezinski's put on a pretty textbook lead. So now we've got Jakub Brzezinski in the chase with Valery Shevelov in the lead. Here we go as we get ready to send it once again. This is your battle for third. Who will be getting the third place podium? ŞYWO doing a nice transition into out turn 2, but dropping the tyre there. Jakub Johnson right on the door though. Once again, dropping the tyre into 3, going a bit too hard, dropping the tyre as he went into 4. Maybe just tapping the wall there as he tries to get out of the way of Jakub Johnson. Oh, he's down! A very unfortunate end to
Jedziesz na wynik, gratulacje. Nie musisz nic jechać do tego. Jedziemy powolutku. Jedziemy powolutku.
Lucas Tazimski. It is official. That is that. Mads Andersen is going to have to bow out of competition as he could not get to the line in time, which means your winner of round 2 at DMP2025 here at Katowice is Lucas Tazimski, with Mads Andersen becoming your second place. Very, very unfortunate way to finish. Very, very unlucky. But unfortunately, these are rules that we do have to follow. And of course, Mads Andersen is at fault for that incident. So, of course, not probably the way that Lucas Tazimski wanted to go and win, but at the same time, you make a mistake, it is what it is. Look at him, he's number 1. Your winner here at round 2. What a guy. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. That is DMP 2025 round 2 here at Katowice, and your final podium will be Valery Shevelov taking 3rd place, Mads Andersen taking 2nd, and Lucas Tazimski taking 1st place. Unfortunately, my co-commentator could not be here with me today, Kian Reedy, but he will be back with us next round, as he was doing Formula Student at Silverstone Circuit in England today. So hopefully he has been watching bits and bobs of this. But it has been an amazing weekend, so thank you to everyone who has come through. Thank you to all of the sponsors, all of the track staff, everyone who's been involved in making this event possible. And there you go, it's official. Lucas Tazimski is taking the top spot at round 2. What a weekend it has been. And we have got to thank all of you for coming through and tuning in as we get a quick little interview with Lucas Tazimski.
No kochany, wywróżony, no.
Wywróżone, mega się jaram i cieszę się, że ta skrzynia wytrzymała. Marcin Misiura startowy do mnie podchodził, bo był taki dźwięk grzechotania, czy jest na pewno wszystko ok z autem. Ja mówię, stary, nie wiem, zobaczymy. Także naprawdę w końcu szczęście się też do mnie uśmiechnęło.
Czy mamy na następną rundę obok ksywki Tasiem dopisać The Profesor?
A to ja nie wiem. Zapraszam wszystkich na mój kanał na YouTube, tam pokazuję całą moją zajawkę driftingową. Mam nadzieję, że będziemy tą społeczność driftingową szerzyć i bardzo dziękuję Tobie też, Macieju. W końcu kiedyś rok temu komentowaliśmy i marzy mi się parka z Tobą.
Mi też się marzy parka z Tobą, tylko słuchaj, muszę wjeździć się w wóz, ale dzisiaj jeździłem na ekstremach, no wóz podaję, myślę, że będzie grubo, także no pojedziemy, obiecuję. Gratuluję Ci, Tasiem, dzięki.
Dzięki wielkie i dzięki za zeszły sezon.
No dobrze panowie, to zaproście w takim razie na 3. rundę, skoro już tu jesteśmy wszyscy razem, to żebyśmy mieli sprawy załatwione. Proszę, zapraszam.
No to co, moi drodzy, 3. runda w Kielcach, a kiedy, Macieju?
Pod koniec sierpnia, słuchajcie, to jest trudne pytanie, ale żartuję, tam jest chyba 28-29 sierpnia. Zapraszamy serdecznie, 4. runda w Poznaniu, tam widzimy się wszyscy, zamykamy sezon. Będzie się działo, prawda Tasiem?
Sezonu nie zamykamy, bo zamykamy go w Poznaniu.
Tak, w Poznaniu, ale powiedziałem, że Kielce, a potem Poznań. Ha!
Sorry.
Dobrze, nic nie szkodzi. Czy ten mikrofon działa? Ten też już działa, także słuchajcie, już na 2 mikrofony przechodzimy do podium i zaraz Cię tam zaproszę raz jeszcze. Gratulacje, dawaj Tasiem. Coś niesamowitego, piękna historia, która jest w Katowicach. Katowice, zróbcie jakiś hałas! Wszyscy, wszyscy, wszyscy! Dobrze, i lecimy z tą dekoracją.